Hey there, team. So, we've got a little 1v1 here. Normally, what I would do is I'd go through some of these units in the actual army, you know, like at the start, like I do with my normal selling videos. Just check them out. But this is the first time I've ever actually seen the horrors of Nandungurtheb. Nan, that's probably what I'll go for. And I really wanted to see, the first time I actually witnessed them, I wanted them, I wanted to actually see what it was like, was the vibe. So that's why we'll be doing this a slightly bit different. Maybe at the end I'll go in and actually see what these units can do, but I might just leave it as a little bit of a mystery for myself. I kind of, this is a faction that I really want to be somewhat unnerved by, I guess. I don't want to understand them just yet. So anyway, the Silm study sessions are over. I'm hovering over them right now. They're done now. But that doesn't mean I'm going to be, you know, I'm still definitely going to be delving into these units a bit more than normal, and I'll be just slotting these in sort of randomly, I think. Won't be doing them sort of again in this little spree as I was doing before, but I'll try to just have these dotted in randomly throughout the weeks. Anyway, we've got these. Oh, great, Scott, the flesh terrors, good. Let's try these words. But yeah. Dusuman Uthan, maybe? Flesh terrors here. God, they are frightening, aren't they? That guy doesn't even... Where is that guy's face? Oh God. That's absolutely daunting. The predators here, with those jabs, with those little shields too, so we could probably blast them up, but that shield is going to be a little bit helpful for them. We've got these skull splitters too, light infantry there. So again, sort of this fanatic attack force. More of these flesh terrors. Now here, this is just spooky. The bloody devourers of children. That just, it scares the shit out of me, dude. That's really unpleasant. Beast hunters up front. So they do have a bow. So it seems to be just like very, like if we thought the blooming, shoot, what are they called? Sauron's boys, Sauron's little werewolf island. What is Tolan Gowroth? Yeah. If we thought Tolan Gowroth was basically, you know, lightly armored fanatics, that's, you know, these guys are taking that up to an 11, really. Karangui Goreswarm. Cool. Looks like, well, yeah, little spider boys. Behind them, big spider boys. Oh, riding them. Interesting. Okay. Let's actually maybe, because that's a bit spooky, isn't it? Cool, just coming in that forest there. So you have mounted archers then. So I wonder, are they really there for the bows, or are the bows just a fun little topper? Is it basically, are they, you know, are they going to be like Drake Broodlings type thing? Are they really the type of things you want to get like rammed in there? Goodness sake, those guys are just spooky, aren't they? So I guess this is like a sort of looks like a troll vibe. God. So what he's got on the far left there. More of these gore swarm, lots of them, and those big old boy hunters, Karagui hunters. So, and I can't even remember. He's going up against Ossiriand. So you've got the Green Elves trying to best him today. But yeah, so as I say, I probably won't be going through a general overview of the horrors for a little while. It is, at time of recording anyway, I don't quite know when I'll be releasing this one, probably after, most likely after Halloween, but I do want to try and do, if I do get some spare time, I'd love to sort of try and do some spooky fight involving the horrors for Halloween, but we'll see. We've got Alexius here. He's got Skirmishers of Rathloriel, his front line made up of these Spearmen of Rathloriel, and some Kinsmen of Denethor too, so they'll be able to hold the line pretty nicely. Skirmishers of Rathloriel over there, behind them a lot of these hunters. The Erfin in Tower. The Maithrin in Tol Gallon. Big old mace boys. Small mace boys. So we'll get started, because there'll be some hiding Ossiriand forces too. Again, Panthan doing his split vibe. We see that Panthan likes to do this. Like sort of take his army and separate it out, which I like a lot. I say it used to be my style. when I used to play like Napoleon Total War. I used to always split my army up in half. But he seems to do that quite a lot, and I don't tend to like to do it in Medieval 2. I've done it once or twice, and I'm going to try it again a few times, but yeah. Sentries of Galleon, moving on over to the west. They're very sort of light horse archers. It'd be cool to see how they sort of go toe-to-toe with the Spider Riders. Very fast, those horror troops, which you'd expect, because they're very light. And again, Panthan just getting right on his flank there. Bit of a distance, though, so enough time to react. Flesh Terror... Oh, sorry, Flesh Feasters. We missed these guys. So I guess the Flesh Feasters are really the unit that actually does have a half-decent ability to resist a bit of damage there by the looks of things. They do have these sort of chest plates. God, they're pretty daunting, aren't they? But still no shields. So I'm assuming they will go down pretty quick if they do get blasted up. And so will, as I say, most of this army. So I'd be a bit worried if I was up against Ossiriand here. But I don't know how sturdy some of these monsters are. As I say, I don't really want to go and look at their stats just yet. I want to get a fight or two with them before I actually investigate them properly. The hunters there, again, I'll try the names sometimes, yeah. Karangui, hunters there, blasting off into the sentries, getting some kills, shooting some of them down, yeah, getting some more arrow fire into these guys. So you can see Panthan has poured a good bit of money into his archers, which is smart. If you can't defend your guys with armor and shields, then you got to defend them with your skirmish power. So that's what he's invested in doing. But maybe, I mean, it sucks to lose your horses like this, but if Alexios could maybe spread his boys out and find a way to just absorb that firepower a little bit, to stop it going into his own lines, because again, the Elves of Ossiriand are quite lightly armoured, so they don't want to get shot up. More Scouts of Galleon here popping up. Alexios getting a lot of these sort of lighter archers from Ossiriand, but still they're elves at the end of the day. There's still elven archers. So they're going to be able to do some good work. Coming around again, Panthan. I like how mobile. He's a fun guy to watch fight just because of how mobile he is. He's very, you know, he'll sort of make you have to react to him, sort of twist around and everything, which is really cool to watch. Gore Swarm there. See, I'd love to. Yeah, like what happens if you? That's 200 of them. What happens if you get a Lancer strike into them? They're down as light infantry as well, so they're not like cavalry or anything, these guys. They're just like little gribbly boys. Do I say the word gribble on my YouTube channel? No, I've been saying, yeah, I've been getting really into the word gribble. I've been, because I do a lot of like tabletop role-playing, and I run like a post-apocalyptic game. So the guys are trudging through the sewers right now. And they're trudging through the sewers of Chicago, and they've got like, as I say, what I just constantly describe as gribbles attacking them all the time. These little like, you know, half zombified creatures coming out of the pipes and under the water and everything, grabbing them. Anyway, so the Gore Swarm pushing up. So they took some damage there, took a little bit of a shot, but again, because of how much money and how much of an effort Panthan has poured into his beast hunters there. He's been able to fend off that cavalry very, very well. But how much ammo do these guys have? You know, ammo is a thing that I always say in Silmarillion. You know, you can't really engage in as long a skirmish fight in Silmarillion as you can in Reforged. In Reforged, most mainline archers, you're going to be able to blast away for a really long time. Silm seems to do away with that a bit. You've got far fewer arrows to send at your enemy. So even as this might be a bit bloody for Ossiriand right now, oh, all right, he is responding. He's dropping them quite nicely, but still he's suffering a lot of casualties. He might not be able. Our man Panthan might not be able to keep that up for too long. And now that the actual exchange has started, these foot archers coming forward, already rinsing down some of these poor Gore Swarm. These little, oh, they're not spiders, they're beetles. The little beetle boys. Nice. Okay, cool. Oh god. Yeah, look at that. That's unpleasant, isn't it? God. Luckily this is a midday battle. It's nice. Sun's out. We're in the grasslands. Got a few happy looking trees. This is great. But no, dude, if you were fighting the horrors in yeah, because it is the horrors. If you're fighting the horrors in a bloody sort of a nasty looking map at night, I'd be freaking frightened. So over here we've got the Devourers, the Children, getting blasted in. To be honest, the Kinsmen of Denethor are probably the unit that I'd be like, cool, let's do it. It's not fun, but let's do it. And I think they might be able to hold out not too bad. Right now victory seems certain for them, but I think that'll change. Maybe the Kinsmen need a little bit of support, but with this javelin fire coming in so close, that's basically point blank, those javelins coming in, getting a little bit of friendly fire of course, but it's going to be a lot of damage coming out of those guys. Those monsters, really, not those guys, those creatures. Flesh Terrors moving on up. Javelins responding, those Spearmen of Rathloriel. Luckily they have a shield though, so they're resisting it a bit. We see from the back, I wonder, okay, sentries are moving over here, but it's always the wonder of, like, do they spot them? Oh, the hunting pack, what are these? Oh yeah, shoot, I didn't pay too much attention to these guys, the hounds. God, they are, yeah. So again, like the flesh hounds, as I'd view them from, say, like a 40k setting, quite unpleasant. How's the main line sort of going? As I say, these Kinsmen of Denethor are really not enjoying that fight, which I guess, I mean, I understand. I really would have thought these javelins would have done a lot more damage to the blooming Devourers by now, but they're still happy. Happy to just tear away. But we need that line to hold a bit longer until we actually pour out all of the ammunition from the Skirmishers and the Scouts of Gellion. They still have their bows out. But because that's such a huge unit, again, yeah, you can see Panthan using his numbers there. Maybe he needs to come forward a bit more aggressively over here. I know his micro is being pulled about left, right, and centre right now, but he needs to be, you know, we need to be punishing this because we've got such a wide line against these guys. Can we get a javelin all the way over there into those hunters? The Gore Swarm are coming though. Yeah, so these Gore Swarm, they were flanking around from over there, but they've been switched around over here, which I think is a good idea. Yeah, javelins coming forward into the hunters. A few noble, brave Gore Swarm, little beetle boys, soaking up that fire and getting back up. Very good, well done. Impressive, lads. But yeah, the Gore Swarm are going to be coming in for a charge here. Very wide charge, charging multiple units. 117 before contact, but I'm not assuming it's going to do too much. Like, so of course I'm sure they're going to get a different noise, but there's always something I find terrifying about creatures making very human noises. So hearing those Gore Swarm, you know, groan and yell in that human battle cry as they were coming in, yeah, nah, that wasn't for me, boys. That wasn't for me. Yeah, there's a good movie. What's it called again? Annihilation? I think it's Annihilation. It's one where they basically there's some alien craft or alien entity that is basically tearing the fabric of Earth apart. It's very, very cool. Fabric of reality sort of around Earth apart. And there's one creature in it, this bear, that it's not a spoiler for the show, I don't think, but this bear can project, you know, human calls and stuff. No. That's a no from me, Chief. Absolutely. The Earthen are in melee there. It looks like the Flesh Terrors are actually sort of barreling right through them, wanting to get into the archers, which I think is a good, it's definitely a smart plan from Panthan. Just try and get through to the archers, do not let him use up his ammo. Now, if I was a betting man, I'd say that Alexius has used up most of his ammunition already, but it's always a good idea just to try and get stuck in there. Stops them being used to, say, come around and flank you or something like that. Gore Swarm here getting massacred, but hell, it's a big unit, it'll take them a while to die. What is going on with those? Okay, Sentries of Gellion over here, happy enough just to shoot some, yeah, get some hits in. I was wondering what, oh, has he split them up? What's this? Oh, some Spear Host and, oh, dear me, this was the tricky one. Ondoyando over there as well. But he has decided to actually keep his other... Oh no, he's kept a unit of Skull Splitters. Interesting. I wonder if this is on purpose or is this an accident? Because I'd be getting those boys in. I really would be wanting them to be getting involved as soon as possible. because I think that this is really the point where we need every man we can get over here. Although this is looking pretty good right now. Now that the elves are able to get those skirmishers into the front line, back it up, it's not going to be too pretty, and I don't know the morale of these units. I don't know if we're pretty stubborn, but I'm assuming, as most sort of orc-ish creatures, I don't want to call these things orcs. You know, it's, I don't know. Yeah, just things of this nature. They usually can be quite susceptible to, say, morale shock and everything like that. So I'm assuming that, say, when things start to go against them, they may not want to stick around for long. Devourer's still kicking, still happy, but with those heavy axes from the Earthen End Tower, that might be just what we need to sort of hack those creatures open. Get them ready to be devoured themselves. Gore Swarm there, yeah, going down pretty quick. See, I think the Gore Swarm, they're much more of like a fodder unit, just sort of like zooming around, but with a 200-man unit, you know, no matter who you are, you'll serve a purpose on the field. So those little beetle boys mostly gone there now. Yeah, you can see now that it's much more of a fair and even fight. This lightly armoured orcish line is faltering almost all the way across. You see some balanced actions on the right-hand side, but not for most of it. Predators there still kicking. Hunting pack still around, causing some havoc. Let's try and watch these. Let's watch these little dog boys for a minute. A little bit hounds, I should say. God, they're big, aren't they? In comparison, yeah, you see, I would have thought they were quite small, but then when you actually see them up against those elves, you're like, damn, okay, you are you're quite a large creature, aren't you? Definitely bigger than a man. I like the little mace for a tail. That's pretty dope too. See, they are very like flesh houndy, which I like. Still, I'm assuming that unit has been forgotten about. That's just my guess right now from Panthan. I was seeing I've actually been playing a fair bit of Warhammer 3 recently. For my first time, never really played Warhammer 3 at all. I bought it as soon as it came out, but I never played it. But I've been playing some Warhammer 3 with my friends, and it's been interesting. One of the things I don't know, I like it and I don't like it. A unit will get like the sleeping symbol put on it if they aren't doing anything. If they're basically sat there and they're not fighting, they're not shooting, they're just vibing, they'll be like viewed as sleeping. So it's good because it kind of calls that out to you as like, hey, yep, this unit's not doing anything, use it, which I appreciate. But yeah, it can be a bit distracting for me sometimes. Hunters moved up there, getting some javelins in now. They've been saved. So again, it's nice to see that Alexius has been sort of a bit careful with these units. He's been saving some of them, getting, you know, because he's probably expecting that Panthan has a few things hidden away. But now that they've turned up, they should be able to sort of help really turn the tide. Even, you know, it's still pretty frightening on the front line. It seems pretty good for him. Those predators doing some damage. Is that? I'm trying to see that man's weapon there. No, it looks like a lax. I was thinking it was. I thought it may have been like a mace or something. That unit is still standing by in that tree line, not gotten used yet. Oh, and shoot! Yeah, these guys. Oh no, they don't. I thought they had bows ready to go. So no, they need to get involved now. Ouch! Beast hunters tearing into this now. Very, very nasty. Dear me. Okay, they do have their bows out. No way. Was that you guys? Who threw those axes? Or was that your shot? Surely not. Unsure. But yeah, cool. High damage arrows coming into these hunters now. They've been taking a lot of fire throughout, and they're, as I say, they're taking even more now. So they must be quite sturdy, must be pretty healthy with a few hit points. But they're getting away. But I can see that Panthan has been trying to use them to do range damage. I've not been seeing them doing like much in the way of charging and so on. Being used as these sort of monsters. Oh, coming in for the hunters though. Happy enough to try and engage that. These are spears against them. So it's a bit scary for them. But looks like that was maybe an accident. Not a bad accident though. We've gotten that unit almost broken. Oh, I should zoom in the mini-map again. Yeah, just see what's going on here. You can see, oh, jeepers. So yeah, there's still a lot in reserve here. A lot of these flesh terrors, beast hunters, sort of breaking down through these hunters of Rathloriel, those javelin throwers that have been thrown on in. So this is really where I would say that, I mean, Ossirian's at their strongest, but I'm seeing that we're suffering defeat is certain in a few of these points now. That should change. Okay, it has changed now. I think that's maybe just due to a little bit of damage from the hunters, perhaps. All these little beetle boys fucking face down in the dirt. Hunters are rattling in. What we got? Scouts of Gellion arriving over here. Quick little charge would be nice. Right, these guys are out of ammunition now. You know, hopefully they've done some good work. Oh shoot! Again, it feels so weird because of the way those beetles die. They sort of go face down in the dirt. It makes it look like there's still sort of a unit on the field. And those beast hunters are still letting arrows go, which is quite impressive. I would have thought they were long done by now. But that's just something that that poor Alexius has had to constantly pay attention to. He's like, shoot, I'm getting shot at, I'm getting shot at, I'm getting shot at. So maybe, because they seem to probably be the only archer unit that the horrors have access to, maybe they've got a little bit of more ammunition to, you know, just to make sure they can fulfill that role for a bit longer. It's still okay, and there's 2 flesh feasters. So when you see a unit there with 2 left, you know, they've got damn good morale, maybe even locked. That's maybe something that the horrors really have going for them, is just that they've got this massive locked morale. You've kind of assumed that, like, because of the absolute abhorrent, the absolutely frightening place that they were raised in, you know, it's like, nothing you can do to me can cause me more terror than I grew up with, my friend. So that's probably justifying a fair bit of locked morale, or at least very good morale across the roster, which is just gonna, I guess, I mean, that'd be kind of nice, because it sort of separates them from a lot of these other, like, orcish factions, like in the way of Angband, which we've seen. Once you break that Angband morale, they're gone. They're just out of there, and it's quite, not so much easy, but it's very possible to do that. These skull splitters now engaging what's left of the Ondoyando, sort of taking them out. Going to be coming in for a rear charge then. Those were the guys that had been held back. Maybe they hadn't been forgotten about. It's possible they hadn't been forgotten about, Panthan. Maybe they were just being held in reserve for the perfect moment. But see, we had some dicey moments back there. We could have maybe used them a little bit earlier, but yeah. Still 2 of these spear hosts there standing by. Don't blame them for not wanting to get involved just yet, though, when you've got when you've suffered that much damage. Oh, good stuff. Nice. That was the turning point. That was what we needed. And another one right there. Very good, boys. That little shrunken T-pose death is exactly what we needed to intimidate the horrors. Even if they had locked morale, I think these poor beast hunters are going to be frightened. So we're seeing they are going down pretty quick to those hacks and slashes, even from the likes of the Scouts of Gellion. Oh, wait a second. Did he shoot? Even dying, even mid-death animation, I think he's still got an arrow out. That's dedication, really. That's some good stuff. So we're sort of surrounding the last of these elves of Ossiriand. This is tough then. Like, we've still got a lot of these elite units, but whoa. So again, Panthan just kind of showing the way that he's been able to sort of curve around his enemy a bit, getting stuck in. Always sort of, Alexius was never able to sort of give his full force because he was always a bit cautious. There was maybe something behind him, something about to burst out of the tree line. He always had to keep something in reserve to deal with that. What is all the way over here? We sort of missed this. Looks like these macemen, one of the real powerhouses in melee, sort of pushed all the way deep over here. But the problem is, we need these guys in the main line. It's great wherever they're going to be kicking ass, but we need them sort of stuck in with the boys. Is that the last king? That's the last kinsman of Denethor. Yeah, again, don't really blame him for running. He's had a pretty tough time of it so far. So it's alright for him wanting to just get the hell out. Earthin there, just about entirely surrounded now by these creatures. General drop too. So then, where else is there really a holdout of elves? Some little routing elves there. Oh, there's a little bit of a gathering of these hunters of Rathloriel. They'll do their best, but don't know if it's going to be quite enough. Beast hunters here, jabbing and hacking away into that scout of Gellion. Nah. So yeah, that was quite interesting. Definitely. Oh, okay. As I say, so I want to get through a few more of the horrors fights before I look into their units. Just see if I can try and work out what they're all about before actually checking them. I may end up actually just playing them at some point. So if I do that, then of course I'll know what they're about. But I'll be interested to see how much of their army is locked morale, or what the general morale is across the army. I say if they've got decent morale, it kind of sets them apart from the other orcish factions, which I like. And I'm wondering, like, how do you best this? How would, you know, because that looked pretty against him at the start. I was pretty sure that those elves had it. Maybe not so much had it in the bag, but I was pretty sure that, say, when those skirmishers of Rathloriel turned up and the Ondayando as well appeared, I was thinking, dear, I do not know how these little horror boys are going to be pulling this out, but just the stubbornness of those orcs was quite something. As well, the Gore Swarm really sort of seemed to be quite like a horde tar pit unit. Those heavy numbers, maybe pretty not so much sturdy, maybe pretty healthy. I'm not expecting more than 1 hit point though, but they might be able to take a bit of a beating and just be able to sort of swarm around something. So you're not really there to get your kills, but just locking up the enemy units and locking up the enemy archers for sure. I think Alexius was able to use up all of his ammunition. I'm pretty sure that we didn't manage to interrupt any of that. But, some hunters of Rathloriel here. Grabbing a few of those beast hunters who seem to be running off in this direction, pursuing some unknown goal, and that's that. So yeah, that's the only real position that they're holding out. Announcer's pretty fond of it. He's pretty fond of the chances here. I think this is a Venice. Is this the Italian, or at least like the Southern Med announcer? Should be. But yeah, so that was good. I actually really like that. But I want to try and do, so you'll know by now if it's come out. If it hasn't come out, sorry. I would love to try and do like some sort of spooky fight. And again, this maybe goes for Reforged as well. It doesn't have to be in Silmarillion. I'd love to do some sort of spooky battle for Halloween. I've got some like spooky stuff planned. Some like non-Total War spooky stuff planned. There's a game I kind of want to go through. But in terms of like spooky Total War stuff, it'd be nice just to get like, even just something quite small, maybe like a 2v3 siege defense on like night or evening, either evening or night, off some little small settlement. That could be a cool vibe. Just and we could have, yeah, say 3 people playing as the horrors, or I know we've got some other nasty units in Silmarillion that can do some good damage. So beast hunters over here, what's going on? We just, because at this point I'd be tempted to just do for friendly fire. I would just get my shots in. I wouldn't care. But yeah, but it's still pretty. Like, I mean, this was all they had left, so that was still quite a close scrap. But I just don't know if I was in Ossirian's shoes there. I don't know what I would have done differently. Yeah, no, not really sure. Good for countering. I don't quite know how he did it, but he countered those hounds really quite well. I think maybe that was what the cavalry was doing during a bit of that, just shooting the heck out of them, getting them slammed up. And yeah, oh dear, yeah, and you can see maybe this is the problem, is that like all it takes is you getting like a solid mainline infantry unit, which the Mythern certainly are, and the Mythern can then, man for man, really smash these guys up. Like this one unit of Mythern has been holding their own for some time now, and they're still enjoying that fight. That's going to change, but you know, as soon as they actually take a loss or two, that will switch. But they are dropping these guys. These skull splitters having their skulls very much split by those maces. Yeah, you're seeing that guy got knocked down. No, I was trying to see like how many hits they were actually taking to get a kill. With that AP, it would be helpful. Whatever sort of armor value the flesh terrors and so on have will be sliced in half by those hits. But yeah, cool. We've only got a few hundred more frames, so I won't bother. I won't hurry it up. I know some people quite like to just go through the end. If you want to skip to the end, don't worry. Don't worry about it all. Yeah, as I say, I'm more than happy with you watching my content in any way that makes you happy. Don't just thank you for watching my content. If you just want to skip around the battle, that's great with me. Not an issue. Beast Hunter's there, yeah, looking for a target, but not really got one presented. Yeah, that's them broken there. So, yeah, looking at that, but I mean, so that was pretty damn close actually. I think even just like one mainline infantry unit, one sword and board boy, could have just easily been the decider there, and wiped out the survivors. The flesh tearers, flesh feasters. So those were the guys, yeah. Those were the actual sort of guys with some level of armor on them, bit more menacing. So yeah, racking up some of them, getting some really good kills, pretty damn aggressive. All got wiped out by the looks of things. So Devourers of Children, they were. I mean, keep in mind they were going up against those kinsmen of Denethor, so like they went straight for the nastiest fight. So I wouldn't really look at their use in terms of the kills. Flesh Tearers again, yeah, doing their work. Beast Hunters there, a lot of damage from Beast Hunters, that's great. So those were the archers actually, so that's amazing the amount of kills those archers got. Gore Swarm, they were vibing, they were doing their thing, and you can see, interesting, so the casualties healed. Now this isn't always a certainty, but this is something that I tend to think happens. The more casualties you've got healed, usually the more casualties you took to range fire. It seems like they're more likely to be healed than damage to melee, damage from melee I should say. So that was some good work, and again their purpose then to absorb fire was probably pretty damn important, but they didn't really rack up many kills in melee. Of course, Hunting Pack there, not really getting that many kills, but again perhaps they were just soaking up hits, and that was something that they were being useful for. And then those, these hunters were the big spiders, these guys were the hounds. So again, I think that they were just getting blasted up by the enemy horse archers. But again, not really racking up too many kills. But those little distraction forces, those fast movers in the backs and the sides, were just stopping Alexius from being able to focus his attention on the main line, where Panthan was really blitzing through, getting shots in, getting javelins in. So yeah, some impressive stuff. Cool, thank you guys very much, and I will see you later.